A huge wall of dust barreling towards the valley, a frightening but familiar sight here in the desert.
Yeah, but are we seeing the dust more often? A new study crunched the numbers since the 1990s and added in whether those storms could be causing more cases of valley fever.
Team 12's William Pitts is verifying the dirty details.
People who live in Arizona for a while think they know this, that there's a lot more dust storms in the monsoon season than there used to be. But how true is that? We set out to verify, are there more dust storms? And what impact does that have on your health?
You've seen the dust storms, you've seen us talk about the dust storms, and you've seen our dust storms go viral.
A huge dust storm covered parts of the Phoenix area yesterday. Look at that. It reduced visibility on the highways. And, oh, man, this poor reporter.
That poor reporter was me, stuck in yet another dust storm a few years ago. Seems like every year there are more and more.
The land is constantly changing, and that's adding more and less dust. But overall, we've seen an increase in the amount of dust. The land use has changed, so places that just used to be barren deserts are now agriculture fields, and then they're abandoned, and then those produce dust.
Even the National Weather Service says dust storms are increasing, but it wasn't until this week that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration came up with a number. According to their numbers, the number of dust storms across the Southwest has doubled since the 1990s. Back before haboob was a household word. They're blaming climate change, but aren't pointing to a specific cause. You'd think all those dust storms would also cause a huge increase in valley fever cases. After all, valley fever fungus lives in the dust. And the same states that see more dust storms are seeing high numbers of valley fever cases.
We don't see upticks in the weeks to months following dust storms.
Dr. John Galgiani is the director of the Valley Fever Center in Tucson. Galgiani says he thinks it's more likely that valley fever cases go up based on how much rain we get in the winter rather than how much dust we see in summer.
The dust storm only lasts for 2 or 3 hours. I think spores get into the air all the time.
So we can verify there are more dust storms in the Southwest than there used to be, even if the cause isn't totally known. But as for that dust causing more valley fever cases, the doctors on the ground disagree with the weather scientists. We'll put a question mark on that one. We just don't know. William Pitts, 12 News.